Welcome to Click for IB Biology. Here we're looking at hominid dentition and deducing modes of nutrition from the evidence available. There's a blank version of this PDF down in the description where you'll also find 10 questions with answers that you can use to evaluate your learning of this particular topic. So here we have three different groups of hominids, Paranthropus, Homo sapiens, and Homo floresiensis. When examining their dentition, what we find is that with Paranthropus, we see that there are very, very large molars and premolars with exceptionally thick enamel, and the animal has very, very large jaws. You'll also notice the presence in this location here of a ridge of bone known as the sagittal crest. And the sagittal crest is associated with the attachment of muscles that come down here onto the jaws to create very powerful jaws. Now we know that with nutrition based on plants, uncooked plants would require significant grinding and molar action. And so therefore we can deduce from the evidence of this Paranthropus robustus skull that the diet of this organism probably was heavily based on plants which required considerable chewing and grinding down with these large premolars and molars, and so a plant diet is inferred to be the nutritional strategy of Paranthropus. Now if we then look at the Homo sapien skull like ourselves, you notice the sagittal crest is no longer present, so there's the muscles which would have come down here associated with very powerful jaws are no longer so well developed. The dentition of humans compared to Paranthropus means that our teeth are much smaller, we have reduced sizes of molars and premolars, and the enamel is much, much thinner, suggesting that the food which is being consumed is not as robust as the uncooked plant material. Indeed, it does tend to suggest that some kind of treatment of food is taking place here. The style of dentition is consistent with being an omnivore, and that would then suggest that the diet was made up of plants, of animals, including insects and things like that, but also that there possibly were technological assistance through cooking to soften up the various plants and animals which were actually being consumed. If we then look at the skull of Homo floresiensis, what we find are, with the smaller skull size, there's much smaller teeth, particularly in the molars, although there's relatively large premolars compared to the molars. And this is suggestive of particularly a fruit diet. Again, it would be an omnivorous diet, but fruit will clearly play a dominant role. Some plant material is suggested by the grinding action of the molars, and there is some evidence to suggest that there was a possibility of some pre-treatment of food, perhaps through some simple cooking techniques as well, with the use of heat and fires. So where we go from the large principles down to the application in a smaller particular instance, that is known as deductive reasoning. The next video link is showing in this niche series, along with a chance to subscribe to the channel. That would be very much appreciated. And on the right hand side we have the playlist with all the niche videos for you. Thank you very much.